Abhishek, how about you? Have you got chance to check?
No, Pradeep, I'll do it.
Okay, okay, sure. Hi, Noor. Good morning. Just a moment, guys. Just. Yep. I'll just share my screen. Let me know if you guys are able to see my screen. Able to see my screen, guys?
Yes, Pradeep.
Yes, Pradeep.
Okay. So today we are going to talk about sourcing and scheduling. Like we are good with so far all these topics, and we also know how the inventory can be adjusted, how an item can be created, how an order can be created. So now the next step would be sourcing and scheduling. Like once the order is created, the first step of the order is scheduling. So before scheduling, internally there is a process happening that is called as sourcing. So let us see what is meant by sourcing and what is meant by scheduling today. Okay. So before we get started, let us understand what is meant by sourcing and what is meant by scheduling. Let us assume we are placing an order for 10 quantity. Okay. My order number one. Order number one, I placed for 10 quantity for item one. I placed this order from Hyderabad. This particular order is available in, sorry, this particular item is available in many warehouses across India. Let us assume it is available in Delhi, it is available in Bangalore, and it is available in Chennai. But it is not available in the warehouse of Chennai, sorry, Hyderabad. So, whenever this particular order is placed by the person who is in Hyderabad, that particular order has to be processed from the nearest place. It can't be processed all the way from Delhi because it is very long and it takes a lot of time, and it takes the shipping cost, like because they have to ship from that long distance to Hyderabad. So in order to avoid these things, we have something called as sourcing rules in Sterling order management system. So sourcing is something which will help in understanding the best match for that particular order which is placed. So in this case, which is the nearest place, I can say maybe Bangalore is the nearest place to Hyderabad. So it will try to choose the Bangalore location. So this is one of the scenario where we consider distance, right? So the same way, we can consider many other rules, like instead of distance you can go for zip code, you can go for particular state. Like I can have sourcing rule for a state, like all the orders from Telangana have to be processed from the Telangana warehouse, all the orders from Karnataka has to be processed by the particular warehouse in the Karnataka. So I can have multiple ways of sourcing. It's up to us. I mean, like up to our logic, whatever we want to implement. Sorry, guys, I'm getting a call. I have to take this. Hello. Yeah, extremely sorry, guys. Yeah, so on the sourcing part, like what we call, based on that particular logic, whatever you want to implement, you can use sourcing rules to source the warehouse. Like for example, you want based on the distance, you want based on the region, you want based on the zip code, you can do the sourcing accordingly. And also you can do the sourcing like what we call based on the classification. Like I want all the shipping products to be used. Like if it is shipping, right, we basically use warehouses. If it is picking, we will use stores, because like we will not be able to walk into a warehouse and get the product, right? So if it is an picking order, it has to be a store order, because like it is something like a BOPIS order. BOPIS is nothing but buy online, pick up in store. So based on different criteria, you can do the sourcing rule configuration. And that particular sourcing rule configuration will help in identifying the respective warehouse or store to fulfill your order. And also, as part of the sourcing rule configuration, we can even mention to consider what kind of inventory consideration. Like you want to consider only on hand, or you want to consider on hand as well as future inventory. You mean, you guys remember, right? Even in transit or PO, purchase order placed, purchase order shipped, all those kind of future inventory also can be considered in order to process that particular order. Is that clear, guys, before I jump into the
Yes,
configuration
Pradeep.
part of it? Yeah.
Yes, Pradeep.
So this particular sourcing rule configuration, it will be present as part of distributed order management. So as part of this particular DOM, distributed order management, we will have our sourcing rules configured. So those will be at organization level, because each organization can have its own sourcing.
Sourcing rule.
So in order to have each organization its own sourcing logic, we have to configure those particular rules at the organization level. So here our organization is matrix. So under cross application, you have something called as order processing, promising. Under that, you have sourcing and scheduling. So right now we are talking about sourcing. So here you can see there are three things: product being shipped, product being delivered, provided services. So what is meant by these three things? One is product being shipped. Second one is product being delivered. And the third one is provided services. So any product, wherever order management system or Sterling order management system deals with only till the shipped status. Like for example, you place an order and that particular order goes to so and so warehouse, and once the order is shipped out of the warehouse, the job of Sterling order management system is completed there. So for those kind of orders, you will have the sourcing rules configured under product being shipped. And under product being delivered, it is something where that particular organization takes care of that order until it is delivered to the customer. Like for example, there is this particular company called as FedEx, or you have UPS, right? These are courier services, but at the same time these companies will also provide you order management systems and warehouse management system services. So these kind of companies, what they will do, they will use the warehouse and they will ship the product out of the warehouse, and they will only send the product till the doorstep. So for these kind of places or for these kind of orders where Sterling order management system is responsible until the order is delivered to the home, we will have the configurations done here. But in 99.99 percentage of implementations, we will have the configurations done in product being shipped, because all the projects or all the implementations of Sterling order management system will have an integration with some third party transport system or transport management system. So that is where, like, we will not be worried about whether the product is delivered or not. That is the headache of that particular transport management system. And after delivering, they will just send an update back to us. So those kind of orders goes to product being delivered. And the third thing is provided services. Provided services is nothing but, it is not a real product or a physical product, but it is just the service we provide, like an installation of a TV, fridge, washing machine, right? So all those things are called as provided services. Or you can see some service request for your to repair your washing machine or anything. Or nowadays you might have seen this particular website called as Urban Company. So they deal with services like cleaning your kitchen, cleaning your house, cleaning your washrooms, or else like they will even provide what you call that makeup services or saloon and all those services. So those kind of things are, they are not physical products, they are just the services. So for that also you need sourcing rule. For that, why would we need sourcing rule? Because in Hyderabad, let us assume I have 100 people of washing people, I have 100 electricians, I have 100 plumbers, right? So they take this particular people as a resource. And what they will do, if somebody places an order from some part of the city, they have to see which person is near to that particular area and which particular person is free at that particular time, and they have to source that particular person to the order whichever has come. Like for an electrician work or for a plumbing work, we place an order, so they have to source the resource. So for that reason, they use provided services, and even urban company can use Sterling order management system if they want to. Okay, so these are the different places where we can configure sourcing rules. And in most of the projects we will not be having provided services that much. Like I have seen only like one or two projects where they are using provided services as like as an item. Like even I have never seen provided services as a sourcing rule, but 99.99% projects use provided product being shipped as the sourcing rule. Is that clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Now, coming back to our sourcing rule configuration, in order to configure a sourcing rule, first of all, okay, let us go and see what is present in the sourcing rule. So, if you go to sourcing rule, you can see they are asking certain things here. What is meant by fulfillment type? What is meant by sourcing classification? So, if I want the sourcing classification or fulfillment type, you have to configure here fulfillment type and sourcing classification. So when you go to fulfillment type, so fulfillment type is basically one kind of an what we call classification, or I can say discrimination, to segregate the orders. Like earlier just now we were talking, right? Like shipping can be one fulfillment type and picking can be one fulfillment type. So basically fulfillment type means that how are you going to fulfill the order. Either you are going to be having it as an shipping or picking. Is a rental product, is it as a digital product, or is it a dropship product? So all those things you can mark it as a fulfillment type. So here in our example, I'm taking two fulfillment types. One is ship and one is pick. What is meant by ship? Ship is nothing but they will ship the product to your home or your office or whichever address you have provided. And picking is nothing but we ourselves will walk into the store and pick it up. Okay, in order to configure any new fulfillment type, it is as simple as just click on here and you can give whatever the fulfillment type you want. Like for example, just now we are discussing about digital, digital. That's it. You just save it. It will create a new fulfillment type. Okay, so the basic configuration for sourcing rules to have is the fulfillment type. So basically now I have 100 orders. Out of 100 orders, I have 50 shipping orders, 50 picking orders. So you have segregated half of it. And after segregating this, the next thing you would need is sourcing classification. So I was just telling, right, how you want to have the sourcing rule. Either you want to have one entire country and you have the sourcing inside that, or you can have one entire state or entire region, South India, North India, East India, whatever kind of region you want. So you can have your own sourcing rule or sourcing classification done. So here I have did it for an entire country. Like for example, I have did it for US, I have did it for India, Europe, Canada, something like that. So this is one way of sourcing classification. Or you can have other way of sourcing classification as, like for example, I want, like I'm a manufacturer and I have warehouses separately for mobile separately I have, and I have all the accessories I put it into one warehouse, all the laptops into one warehouse, all what you call that electronic appliances into one warehouse. So I can have sourcing classification based on the type of product also. So it's up to us like how you want to source the classification. But in major projects it would be based on the region, it can be based on the country, or it can be based on the region. Like for example, APAC region, Asian Pacific region, and Asia, Europe, and what you call that UK region, US region. So people do the sourcing classification up to their implementation. So majorly it will be based on the region, or majorly it will be based on that particular country and all stuff. So you can do however you want the sourcing classification. So here, like I have taken the generic example that is based on the country. Either it can be US or it can be Canada or it can be Europe, India, anything. So how to create a sourcing classification? You can just create like how we have created fulfillment type. So now out of 100 orders, as we discussed, 50 is shipping and 50 is picking, right? Now out of 50, let us assume, sorry, out of 50, let us assume 20 belong to US, so 20 belong to Canada and 10 belong to India. The picking also, let us assume more or less the same thing. So now what is happening, like you guys are understanding, right? We are basically segregating the orders based on certain criteria, right? Like first thing what we did, based on the fulfillment type, there is some segregation, and after that based on the sourcing classification, there is some segregation. So then now coming to the next topic, that is our sourcing rule. So after coming to sourcing rule, you can create a sourcing rule separately. Like for example, I'm going to create a sourcing rule now. I want to create a sourcing rule for shipping US. Okay. So I'll give my fulfillment type as ship, order sourcing classification as US. So I want the sourcing rule for shipping US. That is for this particular 20 orders, which particular warehouse should be allocated. That is my sourcing rule, which I'm going to create now. So what I'm going to do, when the seller organization is what? Like for example, out of this 20 orders, I have, okay, let us see what are all the seller organizations we have, and accordingly we will try to plan. So as part of application platform, participant setup, you have seller, these many seller organizations we have. Like let us assume Matrix R and Matrix B as two different seller organizations. So as part of our order creation XML, you can see there will be seller organization. So whenever the order is created, you will have the seller organization. So you can do the sourcing segregation based on the seller organization also. Like for example, out of this 20, 10 came from Matrix R and 10 came from matrix B only, right? Or what is that? Matrix R and matrix B. So now what I can do, I can give the specific configuration. I'll just give matrix R. So now we are going to use this particular sourcing rule only for these 10 orders. Okay. And products are having any particular characteristics. I mean, like if you want to use for specific item ID, you can use, but we will not use that because we will have thousands of item IDs. So majorly people don't use this item ID, they will go for all items. And product is being shipped to, so you can use this region, like as we discussed earlier, like you can have the region specific configuration, but in order to have this particular region specific configuration, you would need to have the region definition and all, and you have to implement this region schemas and all, but those schemas and all will be done by IBM itself. I mean, like we have to raise a request, like I want the region schema for US. I want the region schema for Europe. So they would provide certain SQL scripts, and we have to run those SQL scripts in order to implement the region in our system. So by default, whenever we install Sterling, IBM would provide us the region schema for US. So let us, I'll just show you as part of reference implementation. I guess under RI you will have, okay, not here. It's been so as part of some folder, right? Like IBM will provide us the details of All the US region that XAPI client, no, right? Just a second. We have that info in our site. Region. Okay, install directory database. Database, where is it? Yeah, database, factory setup, optional, Oracle. Yeah, so here you can see we have the region schema for US. So in order to have the region schema for US, we have to run this particular SQL in our database. So these are all the queries. One second, guys. So we have all these particular queries. Like you can see, it is basically insert queries. So they are inserting the records into some table called as YFS region schema. Insert into YFS region. So likewise, they will have like thousands of queries. So if you run all these queries, it will create the region schema for US. So if we want to implement that particular sourcing configuration based on the region schema, we have to run these queries. So if you see, as part of the region schema, we have only all US, that is one region. And under region level, you have three: all US country, all US state, all US city. And region level association, you have all US city and all US state. So basically they are giving each and every information of US. Like if you see, if you go to region, they will have each and every state of US, like each and every pin code, zip code of US, like if you see. So likewise, if you implement the region schema, you can choose that particular region. So like we don't have that, but in couple of projects where I have worked, they were using this region schema. And if you want any other region schema other than US, you have to reach out to IBM, and IBM will provide some SQL queries similar to this, and you have to insert those SQL queries, and it will, the region schema will be ready for that particular region. And when you are going for any particular node is nothing but warehouse. So anytime any order comes with this particular combination, you can choose one particular warehouse. Like, but right now I want three or four different kind of warehouses. Let us not go with that. Or you can go for a specific node type, whether it is a distribution center or it can be a store. So as it is an ship, right, let us go for a distribution center. Or you can go for any address is nothing but like any order which is coming for these three kind of an combination, it can take any address. But right now let us take as distribution center. So with this, what happens for these 10 orders, whichever is having ship US matrix R, we are going to use some distribution center. But which warehouse, I mean, like, distribution center is nothing but warehouse, but which warehouse are we going to use? So I'm just saving this. Let us, once you save this, you can see there is one more option coming here. Let us create that. So the, you can give a sequence. I'm just giving one template type. So you will give the distribution group. So if you see here, the minute I select the distribution group, it is asking me to select a distribution group. So first of all, let us understand what is meant by a distribution group. So distribution group is nothing but group of warehouses. Like for example, in India, Okay, let us assume I'm going the region specific as each state I'm going as one region. Okay, like Karnataka I'm going, Telangana I'm going, and Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, and each particular state I'm going as a region. So all the warehouses in Karnataka can be configured as one distribution group. All the warehouses in Telangana can be configured as one distribution group. So where can we configure that? So if you see here under DOM, under distribution group, you can configure the what we call that distribution groups. So let us,
Nodes.
sorry, Pawan.
These are all nodes right now. I mean,
These are all the
say nodes like warehouses,
No,
nodes.
no, these are all the distribution groups. Like for example, distribution group of Canada. So when you go to distribution group of Canada, you have matrix warehouse one, matrix warehouse two.
Okay.
So group of warehouses is called as a distribution group.
Okay.
Okay. So likewise, if you see distribution US pick, you have only heavy lift warehouse two. If you go to distribution group ship, you have heavy lift warehouse one. So likewise, you can have one distribution group for uh, what we call our configuration. Let us have the distribution group as, let us name it as distribution group ship, and let us take it as India. Okay, so I'll configure some source ship node. I'll give heavy lift warehouse one and I'll give priority as one. So I'll also give heavy lift warehouse 2, I'll give priority 2. I'll also give, do we have any more? Heavy lift warehouse 3 and I'll give priority 3. So now I have created the distribution group ship India. Now let me go to our configuration, back to our sourcing rule configuration. So I am creating a new sourcing rule. I'm giving sequence one. I'm giving the distribution group. Here it is asking to select a distribution group. I'll click on it and you can see our distribution group ship India has come. So, and other than that, there are certain configuration here. If you want to use the substitution allowed or not, substitution is nothing but you placed for item A, and as part of item configuration, you guys remember we have the some substitution can be done and all. So that can be used, or you can use procure or transfer to this node when inventory is not available. Like for example, in warehouse 1, the inventory is not available, but in warehouse 5 or 6, inventory is available. So you can use the procuring from that particular warehouse. So extend to next sourcing sequence to minimize number of shipments. So like all these different kinds of configurations are available. Or you can see consider only those nodes that are within, like I can say 40-kilometer radius. So with this, what happens? You placed an order from Hyderabad. So when you configure something like this, 40-kilometer radius, then it will try to find the warehouses which is within 40 kilometers and it will try to provide you the warehouse. Okay, and consider only those nodes that have a minimum availability capacity of, like for example, you want a minimum availability capacity of a warehouse to be 20 percentage within next 5 days. So within next 5 days, the availability should be more. I want to use. So why we are using this? For example, warehouse one is having 100 quantity, warehouse two is having only 4 quantity. So I don't want to use 4 quantity, because if I use 4 quantity, it will completely move out of stock. So I have to use 100 quantity. So in order to use or maximize the utilization of all the warehouses, you can use this configuration. So consider only those warehouses that has a minimum availability capacity. Okay, and you can consider only ideal asset. Ideal asset is nothing but like whichever are not getting much of an orders and all those things you can consider. and there is some concept called as e-smart sourcing. Like I'll try to include end of this particular today's session. I'll try to explain the smart sourcing with a small example. And consider the following inventory during sourcing. You want the inventory, all the inventory, or only on hand inventory, or inventory that will be available in next 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, you want to consider. So this is what I was mentioning earlier. You want to consider only on hand or only on hand as well as future. All those things you can configure. So majorly people will use all inventory, or they will use only on hand inventory, or they will, people don't use only inventory, future inventory, right? So they go mostly with all inventory. So now what has happened, whenever an order is placed, it is segregated like this. So now whatever the sourcing classification we have created, it is for this particular 10 orders. So whenever these 10 orders come to the system, so ideally it is 100. So out of 100, so it will be 50 ship and 50 pick. So out of 50 ship, 20 are for US, and out of 20, sorry, we have we have given sourcing classification as US. Okay, fine. And I named it as India. Let it be, not an issue. It's just a naming convention. So for this particular 10 orders, what it will happen, system will come to this DG ship India, and it will try to check. First it will check in warehouse 1. If it has inventory, well and good. Then it will check in warehouse 2. If it has inventory, well and good. If it is not having inventory in 1 and 2, then it will go and check in the 3. If it is not available in the 3 also, ideally it will go to back order. But what you can do is you can add one more here. You can add one more distribution group you can add, and you can select something else like DG US warehouse. So let us see what is present in that. So if you go to DG US warehouse, you have matrix warehouse 1, matrix warehouse 2. So now what happens, whenever the order comes with this particular configuration, sorry, with this particular combination, where fulfillment type is ship, sourcing classification is US, organization is matrix R, then first it will check in the DG ship India, then it will go to DG ship US. So what is DG ship India? We have that heavy lift warehouse 1, 2, 3. If the inventory is not available in all the 3, then it will go to DG ship US. That is warehouse 1 and warehouse 2. Okay, is that clear, guys?
Yes, bhai.
Any questions on the configuration? Like I'm going to talk about what we call that. We'll try to place orders and see how it acts. Okay, so now our whatever the configuration we did was for matrix R. So let us place that matrix R, and the fulfillment type is SHP. So fulfillment type is SHP, and what else we have, order sourcing classification as US. So that will be added based on our what you call that, before create order user exit, we are doing that. So that we should be fine. So now I'll just give some order number, source 01. So let us take some new item, because the existing items will have inventory in many warehouses. So let us not get confused. I'll take item 9. Okay, let us check whether item 9 is having inventory or not. So where will we have inventory? Can anyone tell the table name?
YFS inventory.
YFS inventory?
Supply.
Supply table. Supply, where inventory item key, we have to join one more table, that is YFS inventory item table. Inventory item key from YFS inventory item, where item ID is equal to so and so. What is my item ID? Test Jan 09. Okay, so let us see what happens. So there is no inventory. So according to our logic, what should happen? First, it should go to DG Ship India, then it should go to DG US warehouse. So what is DG Ship India? That is heavy lift warehouse 1, 2, 3. Okay, so what I will do, I will increase 4 quantity in heavy lift warehouse 3. Okay, let us increase the inventory now. Heavy lift warehouse 3, I am increasing 4 quantity, and if that is not available in warehouse India, then it will go to US warehouse. So that is US warehouse is, I will increase in matrix warehouse 2 also. So if you go to organization, I need node, so I'm going to heavy lift warehouse 3. So what I'll do, I'll increase 4 quantity here, and we have one more thing is matrix warehouse 2. So what I'll do, I'll increase 100 quantity here. Okay, so in order to understand, what I'll do is, first I'll place order for 4 quantity. It should take from matrix lift warehouse 3. Then I'll place quantity. It should take from matrix warehouse 2. Let us see how it acts. So this is my adjust inventory API input, and my item ID is 9. Organization is matrix. I'm just giving 4, and matrix heavy lift matrix. Okay, this is one item. This is one more item. I'm taking matrix warehouse 2, and here I'm increasing 100 quantity. So first let us place an order with only 4 quantity. I'm placing an order with 4 quantity. Let us see how it acts. So let me increase the inventory. It is the simple adjust inventory. So adjust inventory is done. We can see it has increased in both the matrix warehouse 2 and heavy lift warehouse 3. Right. Now let us place an order. So my order, I am placing it with fulfillment type as ship, and item ID is this. And once order is created, we will have sourcing classification also added. Let us see what happens. So create order. So this is the order created. I'll show you. Select star from IFS order header where order is equal to. You can see the sourcing classification is US. So ideally what should happen? It should go to our sourcing rule with fulfillment SHP, order sourcing classification US, seller organization matrix R. Okay, let me also see if we have anything in this combination. Okay, so there is one more which is having blank. So let us see what is present here. DGUS. Let us use something else here. Okay, so ideally we have only one configuration with the fulfillment type SHP, matrix R, and distribution center. Let us see how it works. So I'm going to process my order and see what happens. Okay, I'm just resolving the hold manually. So now my order is in created status. I'll authorize it. So now it is authorized. you can see I'm scheduling. So whenever you are scheduling internally, it has to source and schedule. So now I'm scheduling it. So it is scheduled. When you see scheduled, it is taking from matrix warehouse to, I guess the other configuration is preceding us. It is taking this up. Like I just modified this configuration just now, right? So it is DGUS. Where is the distribution groups? DGUS is having matrix store to, and what else it has? DGUS warehouse, it is not here. Okay, here we have this DGUS warehouse. Let me place one more order, guys. Looks like it is having some other configuration also. So you can have multiple combinations. Like for example, if you see here, when I go to sourcing rule, I give a blank search, I'm having these many combinations. Okay. So whenever you place an order, based on the combination, it has to go and choose that particular sourcing rule. So according to our configuration, it should be this particular sourcing rule. This is what we have created just today. So let us try to create one more order and see how it takes. Ideally, it should go to hours only, but it is going to the next thing. What already exists. To let us see what happens with the test resource 2. Scheduling once again. Sorry, it has to be authorized. So I'm scheduling once again. Back ordered to. What is happening? Okay, is that a distribution center or not? 1 second. We have to check that also, whether they are really distribution centers. So if you go to heavy lift warehouse 3, is this, it's a distribution center. But however, it has to go to the next one at least. This is the problem. Matrix warehouse 2. This is also a distribution center. Let me try to restart my server. Maybe it is not taking the existing configurations or whatever it is. Let us see what happens. But I want you guys to understand the concept. Like maybe I can show you with the existing configuration. If the current configuration is not working, I can show you the example with the existing configuration. But I want you guys to understand the concept of the sourcing rules, how that can be configured and how exactly it works. Is that clear, guys? Like, I mean, like any doubts on the configuration part, whatever we have did. Pavan, Abhishek, like, is that not clear? Like, if you guys have
Yeah, it's
something like,
clear
I
only,
can.
Praveen. It's clear only.
Yeah, Pradeep, it's clear.
Okay. If that is not helping out now, I'll try to take some existing example which I have created already, and we can work on it. I mean, like I can show you guys that particular example. So if you seek sourcing rule, sorry, my server is not upright. Okay, it is running. Let us try to place one more order and let us see, or else let us try to process the same order. It's not picking it up. Matrix is enterprise. Okay, let us not waste the time. I'll just show you guys some existing example. Okay, so under the home, I'll go to matrix, cross application, order promising, sourcing rule. So here let us assume I'm giving ship and US. We have how many? Let us see. So we have only 2. So if it is going to the first one, I guess it is taking the first one only always. Okay, let us assume basically why it goes to the first one is whenever the seller organization is blank, you can see it is accepting all the sellers and it is accepting any address. So in that case, it will go to the first one. And in the first one also what they are doing, they are taking DGUS as the first distribution group. Let us see what is present in DGUS. DGUS, they have matrix store 1, store 2. So let us include one more distribution group here. I'll just give 2 and I'll give one more distribution group as distribution US warehouse. So as part of distribution US warehouse, we have matrix warehouse 1 and matrix warehouse 2. Okay, so I'll just save it. So ideally it should go to DGUS or DGUS warehouse. So what is in DGUS? DGUS is in matrix store 1 or store 2, and DGUS warehouse, it is having matrix warehouse 1 or matrix warehouse 2. So let me create the inventory in matrix store 2 just for our understanding. I will I'll just take matrix underscore store underscore 2 mtrx mtrx underscore store underscore 02. Is this something like this? Not 0. mtrx underscore store underscore 2. So I'll just increase the inventory in matrix store 2. Let us see what happens. So inventory is increased. Let me see. You can see inventory is present in matrix warehouse 2 also, only 4 quantity. So ideally, if it is picking the other sourcing rule configuration, right, the first sourcing rule configuration, it will be going here and it will be first checking in DGUS, then it will go to DGUS warehouse. DGUS is nothing but it is having matrix store 1 and matrix store 2. If it is not present in matrix store 1 and store 2, it should go to DGUS warehouse, that is warehouse 1 and warehouse 2. So now first of all, as we are having four inventory in store 2, so it should try to pick store 2. Let us try to schedule it, we'll see what happens. Okay, now it is working. You can see it is taking matrix warehouse 2. I don't understand why it is taking the second one priority. It is taking this as priority. Ideally it should go to our DGUS, and here it should use the DGUS, which is matrix store 1 or store 2. So that is something. Let us create one multiple orders and see what happens. Guys, like the main intention here is to understand the concept. Yes, I can agree that it is not taking the latest changes, but I'm just confused why it is not. Maybe I have to see the logs. In logs also you can see, guys, I mean, like as part of the logs you can see which warehouse is coming as option and why it is not being chosen. All those things you can see. So I'll try to check tomorrow and I'll try to show you guys. So I'll just schedule. Okay, it is asking to authorize. I have authorized. When I schedule, it is still taking matrix errors too. Maybe I have to check on that, guys. Like, but the ideal intention is like based on the sourcing rule, it has to go to the first priority. If the inventory is present in the first priority, then it has to go there. If it is not present in there, it has to go to the next priority. And even under that particular distribution group, also you will have priority 1 and 2, something like that. Okay. So yeah, that is all what we have as part of the sourcing rule configuration. And tomorrow we'll be taking some first 10 or 15 minutes to discuss on the scheduling rules, and we will proceed on inventory synchronization tomorrow. Any doubts on the sourcing rule configuration, guys?
Okay.
No, Pradeep.
Yeah, awesome. And if you guys are already into any project, I would request you guys to check the sourcing rule configuration in your current project and see how exactly it is working and all stuff. That would give you a more idea. Because whatever we are seeing here, right, to be frank, like even for the earlier 2 3 sessions, I would be changing the configurations for every session to show the demo or to make them understand in different training sessions. Like it might get what you call overridden or something like that, but if we see the real time implementation we would get more ideas. So I want you guys to try it out, check it in your project how exactly it is present and all stuff. Okay guys, yeah, maybe we'll connect back tomorrow. And Pawan, like you can stay back, like let us check your issue where you are telling that your YFS task you recorded is not getting created.
Sure. Fine.
Yeah, thanks team.
Yeah, thank you, Pradeep.
Yeah, you can stay. Yeah, yeah. If you guys want, you can stay.
My screen is visible, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
this is the transaction for it. My screen is visible or what?
sorry.
My screen is visible, right?
Yeah, your screen is visible.
Yeah,
So
this is the transaction I have created.
you have created this transaction. Go
Okay.
to others. Can you click on others at the top? Okay, it's a task-based transaction. Okay, can you go to time trigger now? Create EX server. Yeah, double click on that. So you have created the server, you have created the JMS queue, WebLogic, QCF, everything is fine. Created criteria parameters. So you are using the same code what I have given, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, then you would need to configure something here. I'll share. I have not shared this screenshot in the
No.
point. Okay, let me also try to check.
No, I think I already have it.
Yeah, 1 second. Okay, I have not shared that. Let me share that screenshot right away. 1 second.
Okay.
But anyway, that should not be an issue. That should be fine. It should create a task queue without that also. Let us go to your pipeline configuration. It will be not. Yeah, here is the pipeline. You created this. Okay, you have added that. You have mentioned created the Excel task you paste. After the configuration, have you tried to restart your application and all?
Yes, yes.
Everything you have tried.
Yeah.
Everything seems to be good. Okay, can you open that created EX
Okay.
and add one more drop status? Drop status. Can you add one more drop status? Something like, okay, you don't have anything else. Why is that? 1 second, I'm opening my configuration. Where I have got this awaiting for script. That has nothing to do with it. Pickup status. Uh, trigger. Fine, that will be fine. Okay. Actually, it is meeting everything here. Only manage it here. I'm not creating any task recording. That should be fine. Nearly it should create Pavan. See, it's 94 only. Can you show the pipeline once if you don't know? We're using the series 94 only. We have created that as a task you paste. Everything seems okay. Can you create an order and show?
Okay. No, it should create a recording task queue, right? Once we create
No.
that.
Yeah. 1 second. Huh? What is that transaction task queue transaction? Second one. 1 second. Go to database. Go to the database.
Okay.
So 1 second.
Yeah, pretty creating three actually.
That's what. Now, out of those three, one is your. It might be your created EX. Na?
No. I've checked the transaction key. It is ending with like 262 like that.
Yeah, can you show that once? Go show me your transaction table.
Okay.
Okay. Created exist 262 something like that. Huh? Why is it not creating? Configuration seems pretty normal. Task based to transaction.
So when that record will be created, Pradeep? In
It should be created automatically once the order is created.
okay. We need not to run the server for that also.
Nothing. It should be automatically created because it is just the next step, right?
Yes.
Like how you can see it is creating for schedule now. Likewise, it should create for created EX also.
Okay.
But, open that created EX once again. Go to others at the top. You have mentioned it. This is a task based. That is good. Everything seems normal here. And how have you created this status?
Here under the status, right?
Yeah. Go to order fulfillment. No, there you have order fulfillment. No, already open. Left side down. Yeah. Statuses. Statuses. Yeah. Okay. This is also correct only.
Pradeep, is the same pipeline being followed there?
Yeah, it is sales 94. Yeah, that is a default pipeline. I have seen that. Sales order fulfillment 9.4. If you want, you can check that as part of your YFS order line table. You will have a pipeline key. You can check that. But yeah, I'm sure it is the same pipeline.
Shall I delete this and add again this pipeline?
Yeah, whatever you have did is correct only. There is no point of deleting and recreating it. Where did you create the transaction? Like it will be under.
Okay.
Yeah, so that okay, it is as simple as that. Okay, double click on the transaction. Let us see. There should be some issue with the transaction only, because if the transaction is not created properly, then only it might. But you are just mentioning it as a task base. The next is a task base, so it should automatically create it. One second. Huh? I'm checking my thing from my first task. Almost. Okay, it is being created. The minute I create the order, it is getting created in my case. So it should be the same with you also. Once you create the order, it should get created automatically.
Should I click yes or no here?
Oh, you have not saved it or what?
No, no, I'm just it's deleted earlier again. Again,
No. Yeah, you just have to click yes, yes, yes. That's it.
okay.
Yeah, just click yes, 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 yes. Yeah, refresh it now. Save it once again. Save it once again. You like clicked it once again. Just click yes, yes, yes. That's it. Yeah. Now refresh the pipelines. Go to pipeline. Refresh the pipeline. Oh,
Okay.
it should give one pop up, right? System has detected the changes, something like that. Okay, let it be create an order now. Yeah, now go and see Wi-Fi ASCII table. No need of order number. Just have to, modified yes. It's not creating. Hmm. Can you get me the logs of create order API? Just enable the logs for create order API
Okay.
and get the logs. Let's see what happens. I'll try to go through the logs. You have that
Yeah.
modified trace. Yeah, take that add, give the name as create order. Yeah, very good. And yeah, that's it. You can use that. Yeah, now create the order. No, no, create order. Okay, go to your WebLogic uh, command prompt. WebLogic command prompt. That
Oh,
that black screen where you start the WebLogic.
sorry. This one, right?
You got logs here, right? Ah, yes, yes, yes. So just right click at the top of this window.
This one.
No, no, no. Right click on the window. Ah, there. Uh, why are you not having anything? Right click, huh? You are doing right click only.
Yeah, right click on.
No, no, no. If you do right click, you should get edit and all, na. You are doing right click only, yeah. How come? Okay, right click somewhere on the screen.
Yeah, it's showing yours.
How can you copy this then? Uh, Try to try to select everything. Try to.
I have to copy this, right? Everything.
Yeah, I want the logs actually. I want to see the logs because ideally, whatever the configuration you have did is like pretty straightforward, and it should create that particular task you record.
Okay.
Try right clicking on the C windows that there on the
Okay. Okay.
left top.
Left side top, left side top.
Okay.
Yeah, there. Export text. Oh, you're using Windows 11, huh?
Ah,
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, just name that some logs or something, and can you send me that logs in WhatsApp or email? I'll
okay.
try to check those. But whatever you have did is correct, Pavan. I mean,
Okay.
like, whatever the configurations and all you did are pretty much straightforward. So it should work as
Okay.
expected. So meanwhile, you try on that non-task queue based.
Yeah, that one worked.
That is working fine, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. This task queue based, it should also work. Let us check that. Okay. Give me the
Okay.
logs. I'll try to check today and I'll let you know.
Okay. Through email, I should share it. All right.
Yeah, yeah. Through email or WhatsApp, anything should be fine.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah. Anything else from anyone, guys?
No problem.
No problem.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
I've shared in WhatsApp.
Yeah, I have got it. Yeah, I'm checking it.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, brother. Yeah.